Houston Center has been around for quite a while. It's a pretty well-known project, at least in the downtown submarket.
Houston Center offered a great opportunity for redevelopment because the way the campus was laid out, it was very cohesive, but and it was very strong from a structural standpoint as far as having efficient floor plates and connectivity.
You know, getting into the building has not been super easy. You know, that was one of the hurdles that Brookfield had to overcome with the renovation, is figuring out how to make it intuitive for people coming off the street and into the building on how to do that.
I think as designers, what we do is try to put ourselves in the shoes of first-time users or visitors to the complex. So you'd be let off at the corner of Fannin and McKinney, for example, and there would be an escalator that would take you up outside of the building footprint itself. And then it would turn and then go up floors, down floors, and then connect you to all the buildings eventually, but it wasn't intuitive and it was very difficult to navigate.
There was a lot of escalators everywhere. So it was all above the street level. There really was a definite division there.
And so when we started the project, we knew that that was one of the aspects that needed to be changed. So a big part of our design challenge was, how do you make that path of travel intuitive and energizing for those tenants in the building and for first-time visitors to understand how you get from point A to point B.
I think my favorite part of it is with how they're all connected, you know, and I talk about connectedness, but I think that's extremely important. And so, you know, they've always been connected via sky bridges and things, but with the renovation, they really have opened up the lobbies to be much bigger and brighter and more welcoming.
It's been pretty amazing. A lot of the renovations occurred actually while a huge amount of people were out of the office because of the pandemic. One of the stories I love to tell is I was coming up the elevator from the garage into Houston Center with, I guess it was an employee of one of the long-lasting tenants within the complex. And as we got out of the elevator, they kind of looked around and thought that they were in the wrong building because it looked so incredibly different. And I think that's the overall reaction. Almost every broker, most tenants that come by are kind of awed with the changes that have occurred.
You know, it's been fantastic to see how tenants react to being back in Houston Center. We've had some tenants who think they're lost in the project. They think they've walked into a different building, even though they've been working here for maybe a decade.
This started out as supposed to be the office space of the future when it was originally designed, and so we were kind of doing an about face, stripping it back and making it an office for the future again.
I think Brookfield knew the need. I think they addressed it accordingly, and I think that the way that they had gone about strategizing and designing the amenities was probably the best that we've seen so far of these other buildings that are doing renovations. They really thought through it, and I think that that comes across to tenants and any prospects that are looking.